Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Cousin
Connection
Podcast. And we're coming to you with episode 45. Is this 45?
Yeah.
Yeah, 45 of the Cousin Connection Podcast. And whoever's still listening, glad to have you here. And new listeners, glad for...
I don't even know what
are you about to say?
Thanks for rocking with us. But that sounds so like, rock on, dude.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in. We got another... hopefully great episode for you. Ramadan's definitely in full swing at this point. I think last week was the first week we were into it.
No.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Episode 43. This one was like day 2 of Ramadan. Last week was like the first week of Ramadan.
This so we're 2 weeks into it, right? Yeah, this is 2 weeks. Officially 2 weeks now.
We've completed 2 weeks,
Yeah, we've completed 2 weeks now. Yeah. So we're halfway there, which is kind of weird. Like, time is flying. Like, Ramadan feels like it's just going quicker and quicker every year.
You feel like that too?
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot quicker than normal. And but yeah, it's been good. We've got a couple things to talk to you about, a couple of serious topics that we'd like to bring up, but I'm not sure where you want to start. I feel like...
I don't know, should we start with the serious one or end off with that one?
We can end off with that one. Yeah, let's start with a little sweet stuff.
When we brainstorm for topics, we kind of look for inspiration in our day-to-day lives or whatever is trending or whatever pops up on our feed or whatever. I said whatever a lot. Anyways,
you got to be more confident in your ideas and what you want to talk about. Okay, don't say whatever. Just go into it.
Fine.
You don't have to explain it to them.
I mean, I do.
What?
Because they're listening.
Oh no, I mean like you don't have to be like, okay, so the reason I came with it's like. Just jump into it.
So this week, I wanted to talk about this new Netflix show, or maybe it's not new, but I've just come across it recently or heard about it. It's called The Ultimatum. Have you heard of it?
Oh yeah, I definitely know about it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think you knew about it.
Yeah, I know about it because of like other podcasts I've listened to and other YouTubers that have covered it.
Did you watch it or at least look into it?
Well, like one of the YouTubers I watched called Nathan Zed. He actually did like a whole breakdown of it.
So you already have an opinion then?
Sort of. Okay, no, you can keep going. Don't worry. Just, act like I never said that.
No, but like now you already have like, okay, fine. I'll tell you what I think and then.
Okay, go ahead. Just ask me the same questions you were thinking of asking and then I'll try and give an unbiased opinion.
Well, you haven't seen it. You just watched somebody
else's. Exactly. So I'll just act like I never seen it then.
Fine. Okay, so I haven't even watched the whole series.
Really?
I just watched one episode for research purposes.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't intending to watch it now anyways. I was going to like wait until after Ramadan just because, anyways. I watched one episode just to kind of get the gist of it because everybody and their mama's talking about it. Basically, like, it's like a bunch of different couples that are in long-term-ish serious relationships, and one of the two people in the relationship gives the other an ultimatum. Yeah. So then they decide to go on a reality show that... Like
an ultimatum, basically, like, you have to marry me or we're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that all the ultimatums? That's what I took from it.
Most of them, yes, but some of them are like one couple is like the guy wants kids and the girl doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Or one of the girls is like, my husband has to make more money than me.
Yeah.
And in her current run, he doesn't make more money. So everybody has these ultimatums and they all decide to just come on a reality show where it gives them the opportunity to date other people to see if their partner that they originally had is really the one or if they should just go for someone else. Yeah.
When I heard about that concept, I was like, this doesn't make any sense,
right?
But like at the end of the day, Netflix knows. I feel like Netflix knows what they're doing at this point. Like they're known for their reality shows at this point. Like remember, Netflix originally was known for like all its great shows, like Orange Is the New Black, and Dark, which is a show that I really liked. What other great shows that they used to have back in the day? Like actual like series, like proper series, not reality shows.
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah, well, there's probably there's a lot. There's a bunch more.
Is Ozark a Netflix?
Oh yeah, Stranger Things. Yeah, that's still a thing. But now I feel like Netflix is purely like a reality show producer, because if you think about it, like Netflix knows what people want. Like they actually have the algorithm behind them, right? They see what people are clicking.
They're taking over MTV's slot, because MTV used to be like the king of reality shows. Yeah, remember?
Yeah, and MTV at this point is mostly just like ridiculousness and like wilding out. Like it's basically
is that all they do now?
It alive. Yeah, and they have like spin-offs of ridiculousness called like deliciousness.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, so that's basically what's keeping it alive at this point. Oh. But like Netflix has taken over the game when it comes to reality shows. And because they have that algorithm behind them, so they see what people are clicking. Yeah. So they literally just take like, they find that a lot of people like this concept and this concept. So like, why not put it together, right? Yeah. Like basically this is very similar, not very similar, but this is almost like they took like, I don't know, what's another, Too Hot to Handle. And like, what's that one where you can't see the person?
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind, and like stuck them together. I'm not saying that's exactly what they did, but that's what they're sort of doing at this point. They're just taking different concepts and be like, let's do it and see if it works. If it doesn't work, we just won't put it out.
But you know, the thing is with all the other like reality / dating shows that they have on Netflix, everyone goes into those shows single. Yeah. But and the interesting thing is that, you know, the show Love is Blind, I think the producers, or maybe they're just hosts, but Nick Lachey and his wife Vanessa are the producers of Love is Blind. Yeah. Which kind of like, that's an interesting concept for a show. Mm-hmm. Why would they? And they also produced this one, The Ultimatum.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like I was like, oh, they're hosting this too. And then they're producers of the show. And then basically when they were introducing the concept, Vanessa was like, we came up with this idea because like in their own relationship, they took a break and they decided to see like one other person. Yeah. So they both dated somebody else and then they realized, oh, like they're the one, that person's the one. Yeah. And that's why they got married.
This is what happens when you don't have God in your life, man.
But I'm just like, yeah, right. But like, it just, I was watching it to just like see, like, there's no way this is going to work. And all of the couples, like in their confessional or whatever, they're like, yeah, you know, I'm just going to be open to the idea, but like I still love my person. So like, you know, and the thing is they have a week to basically like speed date everybody. Yeah. So imagine there's like 10 guys, 10 girls.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So 5 couples. They're all in the same, like, I don't know, hotel. Okay. So imagine like you're in a committed relationship. Mm-hmm. You give this ultimatum thing a try. And like while you're talking to some random girl, you can see your now ex, I guess, talking to some random guy. Like, how weird is that?
Well, like when I saw all of, for the video that I saw about it, I was like, there's no way this is real. But then again, I remember things like Maury exist. And I used to think Maury, I used to think Maury and like Jerry Springer were fake. But
is that not scripted?
No, they're real. Like those are real people. So
wow.
I guess it just reminds you that like they're people who are willing to expose any part of their life and kind of do anything for exposure. And that's what it's turned into, because they know, all these people know when they're going on a reality show, they're doing it mainly for exposure and to like kind of use it as like a jumping off point to like start their social media career, like influencer career.
See, I thought that, but like the people that came on The Ultimatum, one of the guys, so before I even watched the show, one of the contestants, he came up on my For You page on TikTok, and he like put up a TikTok that said something like, I had no idea what the show was even about. Like I didn't know that we were going to be dating other people. So and that reminds me of the other show, I think it's called Too Hot to Handle, where when they're applying for this Netflix show, they think it's a completely different show. And they come on and they realize like, no, this is what you're actually, like, this is the show that you're actually on. Yeah.
But I guess you have to be a certain type of person to even want to go on a reality show like that. Yeah. And expose your relationship like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
And you can tell, like, just from the person who I saw who was reviewing it, you can tell there's always like one person who's like really into that relationship and the other person who just doesn't care.
That's exactly. And the editor, like, I have to give it to the editor teams, the way that they edit it, because they'll show like, they showed like one guy in the first episode where he's like believes that the girl is his soulmate, and he's like crying in the bathroom because he can't do this whole speed dating thing. He's like, I know I'm in love with her, like, why am I wasting my time here? And then she's talking to like all these guys and she's like, I just don't think he's the one for me.
Exactly. Like, and the funny thing is that couple is actually the one who ended up getting married and like having a kid.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah. Oh, wait, did I spoil it for you?
Is it the one with the short hair? I don't know
the blonde girl.
Really? They got married?
Yeah, it's really bad. And like they actually got married on the show. Like they had the the pastor there and everything.
So they didn't end up getting with the other people that they met?
No, and it's no. And
what's
it's
his
funny
name?
Because up until what?
Calvin? I don't know what his name
I don't know. I can't remember their names, but like up until the point where they made that decision to actually get married, like she was still going back and forth with me, like I would never marry this person ever in my life. I don't even know what I would think like that. And literally like 2 scenes later, they're like at the podium getting married.
That's a little sus.
Yeah.
Do you think they did it for money, or you think it was like genuine?
I don't know. I think it's just people. Some people, they like the power dynamic. They like the fact that someone will probably never leave them no matter what they do. So they feel like they can do whatever they want in that relationship. Kind of.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it's very sad. That's why I kind of don't like watching reality shows to begin with.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these people are just having like these sad lives. Like it feels so empty. Like the relationships that they're having, the fact that they can say they like love this person, and then 2 scenes later they're like literally in bed with another person and saying they love this. And I don't know. It's a sad reality that there are a lot of people who are living like this, and these reality shows are just exposing it and showing us that like
that it's fake.
Yeah, not that it's fake. Is that like people just don't know who they are, and like they don't know how to like cultivate a proper relationship. People weren't trained and like maybe it's a fact because like there's a high divorce rate in the country, so a lot of people don't grow up in like 2-parent homes.
Yeah.
So they don't see what like a loving relationship might look like, or like I don't know. There's a lot of factors that go into it.
Yeah.
And also the culture in America. There's a reason that a lot of these shows work in America is because the culture is so like backwards when it comes to relationships and love and all that stuff.
In what sense though?
Like they don't really put any significance in like when you're getting in bed with a partner. Like there's no significance to that. It's very frivolous, right?
They kind of like it's kind of like
they don't treat it with the respect that it needs.
It's like a liberation movement.
Yeah, exactly. And people are trying, and society is moving in a way where they're like being so liberal that they're like, do whatever you want, there's no consequence whatever. But like as Muslims and like just religious people in general, we know what the consequences are, even though you don't see them right away.
Yeah.
You know what the consequences are for your soul.
Yeah.
And for you as a person. Like in the future, you're definitely, or a majority of people are going to look back and be like the things I did nothing for me. They did.
Yeah.
Like you ended up in a worse place than where you could have been if you were a lot more respectful of your body.
Yeah.
And your relationships that you're in. So that's probably what I guess someone who's religious can take away from these reality shows. Shows what like you're really protecting yourself from.
Yeah, I mean, even when we're like, I know you probably don't really watch that many reality shows, but even when I watch them,
I don't watch any.
Like I can't sit here and tell you like, yeah, I can relate to these shows because it's not. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
I think people like you, or like people who don't take part in that lifestyle at all, just like it because of the like it's so ridiculous. It's almost like a car crash. Like it's so
bad, but so good
bad
that
you can't look away, right?
Yeah.
It's like any car crash when you see on the side of the road and stuff. Everybody looks, even though it's something horrible, you still look because I don't know. It's just something primal in your brain. I don't know what it is.
Side note: was I with you that one time when we were on the highway and that one car was on fire?
Yeah. We drove past it. Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah, exactly. And then when I drove back, like, of course, when I was passing by, like, it was funny how fast that car, like, not funny. It was crazy how fast that car burnt out, because when we passed it initially,
it was in flames,
going one way.
Right?
Just the engine area was in flames. Like the rest of the car was still fine.
Yeah.
And then when I was driving back, literally the whole car was black and just done.
Oh, the whole car?
The whole car was done.
Shoot.
No more fire anymore. It was just black and crisp.
Oh my God.
In that, like, what was it? Like the 10 minutes since I dropped you off and came back home and passed it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's why fires are dangerous, right? Because you don't realize how fast they spread.
Was there I'm assuming fire trucks and stuff came by then? Because how else would the fire?
Oh yeah, I think there were fire trucks at the time. I can't. Yeah. There's definitely fire trucks at the time.
Because when we passed it,
there's no one yet. Yeah, there was still like anything. The driver was still like outside of the car, just running probably for help or something.
That's so
like
scary. I always have that fear. Sometimes I'm just like, driving like.
Check your engines, change your oil, people.
I don't even know how to do that.
What? Well, like you go to the oil changing place.
I've never gone to the garage in my life.
But someone else does it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. God, you got me scared there for a second.
I'm pretty sure something's wrong with the wheels outside too, but just wait till my dad comes back.
How long is your dad gone for?
Like 5 weeks.
Hopefully you guys take care of that car, man. As long as you don't go over 6,000 kilometers, whatever the oil change time is.
Does it tell you?
No, whenever you get your oil changed, they'll have a sticker that they put on the inside of it that says the kilometers for the next change.
Where do they put that sticker?
Usually on the top corner of the. You never seen that?
No.
It's on the top corner of the
screen
of the windshield. It'll be on the inside. They'll write down the kilometers until the next.
I don't think we have that.
You do have it. If you don't have it, then
I've never noticed that in my life.
Yeah, you got because it's usually see through. The only thing that's there is probably their logo, the actual number of kilometers until your next one. So usually, if you have 140,000 kilometers on your odometer, they'll write down if it's 6,000 till the next one, they'll write 146,000 on it, and
really?
or they'll write a date for the next change, because just in case you don't drive your car that much, it's still recommended maybe to get your oil changed every 3 months or something like that.
I always thought the car would just be ding and then just tell you.
Sometimes, yeah, the newer cars have that option where they just show you.
Oh.
Even some older cars, but yeah, it's usually not recommended to go off that. Once your actual emergency light turns on, then you're gonna be a little bit more concerned, because I don't know what the threshold is for it, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty low.
There was one light that was flashing today, but honestly, I didn't think it was a big deal.
What was flashing?
It's the brackets with the exclamation point.
Yeah, that's a check engine light. You can just scroll. Don't worry, mine is always on, but I have I have a 2002 Toyota. Okay,
it's fine.
It's literally older than probably half the audience. If you think about it, it's literally the 20th anniversary of getting that car.
Is it actually?
Yeah, and I remember the day that we got it. The first day we got that car.
It had the new car smell for years. I don't know how.
I think because we just had the new car smell tree in the car.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's the blue one. Yeah, the blue one's the new car smell
wondered.
One. Yeah, you just do that.
Oh, smart.
Mm-hmm. That car's been through a lot, and I'm surprised that it's still driving to this day. It's been it's been passed down to me.
Do you actually drive that one? Because it's always parked here. So
no, I still drive it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you gave up.
My mom gave up on it. That's why she won't drive with me in it. Yeah, I'll just take it myself.
She gave up on that car?
She would prefer to take our other car. This one.
Dang.
Yeah, that car's done.
She's a traitor.
Hey, it's still when I say that's done, it's done as in it's just really old and
But it's safe, right?
Yeah, I think it's safe.
It
has some braking issues, but you can kind of get around that.
What do you mean?
No, it just kind of jumps sometimes. It's fine. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I don't know about that.
The car is fine, guys. I've been driving it every day. Well, not every day. Maybe once or twice a week now.
Really?
Well, yeah, because where are we going?
Yeah, true.
Right?
We ain't going anywhere.
Exactly. It's Ramadan, guys.
Oh, man. Oh, my God. I was going to tell you something.
Yeah.
So I went to the airport this morning, and I felt like I was one of those memes on Salam Central.
Why? What happened? Oh, because of the suitcase. You guys had to open your suitcases, didn't you? Oh, my God.
Literally.
Yeah.
First of all, I got there. Anyone who knows, when you're dropping your parents off to fly to Ethiopia, the entire strip of the departures was all Habesha people. Every single car. I've never seen so many Toyotas in my life all at once. And you know what the funny thing is? Because I did it too. That's why I started laughing. But anyways, I was one of those people that opened up the suitcase in front of everyone, and I'm shoving things.
So you guys already went to the check-in. You realized it was overweight.
No, I did this outside because I could tell.
Oh, okay.
I feel like we've traveled enough now to know if a bag is overweight. And my dad's carry-on was so light, so I'm shove it in here. You're fine. Then
what happened?
I sent him off, right? Yeah. So my mom took an empty duffel bag and followed him.
Oh, just in case?
But you know what I realized?
What?
So I'm okay, I'll just wait for you here. I'm not going to pay for parking. Yeah. Every other car did the same thing.
No way.
So there's every single car was just the driver, but nobody, the car was empty. They're waiting for the person.
Because they got to wait for the person to see if they have to bring anything back.
And I'm wow, we really are all the same.
And those lines, the only line that takes the longest to check in is anything going to Africa.
Yeah, but you know what they did this time?
Everyone is checking in bags. Everyone. What?
So remember when we went?
Yeah.
And it was like insanely busy.
Yeah.
Did you check in the night before? You did, right? Remember?
I think so, yeah.
We checked in.
Yeah.
But they didn't really like...
Yeah, it didn't change anything.
This time, they actually had a separate line for people who checked in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so my dad got in like 5 minutes.
What, people don't know how to check in online?
I don't know.
Really? At this point, people don't know how to check in online? I feel like it's like a common thing.
I think maybe they thought like...
It's also because like, if you check in...
Yeah.
Like, you can't add a bag after that or something like that. I don't know.
You can add one online when you check in. Remember?
I don't
know. But
how does that affect your... I don't think it affects your...
I think for us, it's because the COVID testing, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm trying to think of how that affects like your check-in process. Like if you know you're going to bring in overweight stuff. But I don't think it does.
I mean, either way, like they don't. It's not like Air Canada where you use the machine to drop your bags. You're still going to a person.
Yeah.
So they're still gonna.
You definitely have to have a person. If you had machines,
bro,
and you couldn't negotiate anymore, oh my god, so many more people bring stuff back.
Yeah, they'd bring like 60-pound suitcases. Yeah, for sure they would have.
Nah, but the airport on a day when an Ethiopian Airlines flight is leaving is like something else, man. But also the reason we had to wait so long that last time is because they closed one of the gates. Like they didn't have both of them open.
Oh, that was why?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, that day was bad.
Definitely, because remember, like usually whenever we would exit, whenever we go through the gates, like there was that gate in the area where we were checking in, right? But then when we lined up, we literally walked to the other side.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, our line was literally from one side of the airport to the other side of the airport.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, thankfully it was moving fast, but like...
Barely.
Yeah, and then you guys had to run.
Yeah.
But then we realized, oh wait, they're working on Habesha time, and our plane still didn't leave like till an hour later. Yeah,
that's so true. I remember that now. Yeah.
I walked up to the lady and I was like, "Why are these people in line?" She's like, "I told them not to. We're literally not going to leave for another hour." I was like, "Okay." She's like, "They still lined up." Honestly, and those people just stood there. Why do people do that all the time, man? They just stand there.
You know what? What makes me mad?
Doesn't make any difference. Yeah,
because like I don't want to stand in line for an hour.
Yeah,
but it's like I feel like I have to now.
Why?
Because if I don't, then I'm going to be the last one on the plane.
But you have a designated seat.
But these people...
No,
I'm saying these people. I shouldn't do us and them.
Yeah.
When you're the last one on the plane, you almost never have a spot to put your bag on top.
Yeah, but if you don't have a spot, you can just give it to them at the front and they'll hold it for you, I think, right? No?
Yeah, they'll find another spot, but then
move it for you.
Yeah, which then you have to find your bag later and it's annoying.
You just be the last person to get off the flight.
I did that one time in my life. Because I couldn't find my glasses.
Oh, what?
You
waited and you were like searching the whole flight for your glasses?
I was blind. I couldn't see.
Then they were searching for the whole flight for your glasses?
Yeah. So like I went to sleep.
Yeah.
It was on my way back from Turkey. And I put the glasses on the seat pocket.
Yeah.
And I guess, I don't know, might have like kicked it off or something.
Yeah.
So I opened my eyes and they're like, okay, 30 minutes before landing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, where the F are my glasses? And I'm like frantically searching. Okay, imagine the
Wait, you didn't think to check the front of your seat?
I did. I was like, I remember putting it in the pocket. Yeah. It's gone. I check my bag, gone. I look under my seat, gone. So like, I'm panicking now because I'm like, I don't think you guys know, I'm legally blind. Yeah, you
literally can't see. If you took off your glasses, you probably couldn't see the laptop in front of you.
100%. Yeah, the text.
The text in
there.
Oh
no. Mm-hmm. So imagine now I'm panicking because I can't see and I can't find my glasses. So I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? So I have like Hanan and Nabat. They're like, we're trying to like frantically look, but like it's crowded on the plane, right? So the plane's starting to descend, but I'm still like on my hands and knees in the friggin' aisle.
They didn't tell you to get back in your seat?
I mean, yeah, they're like, we'll look for it after the plane lands. Yeah. And I'm like pissed now because I'm just like, can't even see anything. I'm like mad, you know?
You should have contacts at this point.
So then I remembered, oh yeah, my contacts, they're in the overhead bin. Yeah. So I told the lady, like, can I just, I can't see, so I have to get my contacts. So the plane's going like this, and I'm just like.
Oh, like they still let you get up while the plane was going down?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I get my stuff quickly, and I'm like putting in my contacts with dirty ass hands.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. And then now I can see.
Yeah.
But I'm like looking for my glasses, nothing. So basically, I had to wait till everybody got off. And then it's just me, Hanan, Nabat, their moms, and the flight attendants. Yeah. Now we're all looking for it, like hands and knees. And it was like 6 rows in front of me.
How? Oh, so
I guess like it moved, right?
I think I know what happened. You probably put it in that pocket, but put your stuff in there too. And when you were taking out your stuff, it like slipped out with it,
and then just rolled,
and then just like slid down whenever like there was like movement on the plane or something.
And then the saddest part, is that the person, whoever it was under, squished them.
They were cracked.
Yeah, like the this part separated.
Yeah. Oh, so you're walking through the airport with just holding your glasses in your hand?
I was wearing my contacts.
Like a monocle. Oh, yeah, you're wearing the contacts. I forgot about that part.
But I was so sad, man.
Yeah, but then again, those things can be like gold mines. The seat, what do we call them? Those seat holder things?
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I was a kid, I had a Game Boy Advance. The Game Boy Advance Color, okay?
Ooh,
and
don't tell me you left it in there.
No. I was at a mall one day, and I was playing it. And I took it to the washroom with me, and I put it onto like the toilet, like the top of the toilet, right? And then I went to the washroom and everything. And I'm a very forgetful person.
I know.
So immediately I just got up, washed my hands, and left the washroom. And I didn't realize until like halfway through walking the mall that I completely forgot my Game Boy, right? So I sprinted back as hard as I could to the washroom. And of course, it wasn't there anymore, right?
Really?
Yeah. And it had like a cool design on it and everything. It had like a sticker that I put on there. I was so sad. And then I think I was flying, I forget where we were flying to, maybe to Ethiopia or something. And I was, you're always curious as a kid. You check those front seat things, right?
Yeah.
So I was just like playing around with it. I was checking the front of it, and I felt something in there. I was like, what is this? And then like I like feel it's like this feels familiar. So I pulled it out, and it was literally like the same color, Game Boy Advance color that I had in my head.
Was it yours?
No, of course it wasn't mine.
That would have been like, imagine.
Then you just followed me all the way back.
So you took it?
Of course I took it.
You took somebody else's Game Boy?
Well, like I was on a new flight. It's not like that kid's gonna remember. I was going to a different country, So I just took it and I started playing on it. It had games in it. It had a game in it too. I think it had like Pokemon Blue or something like that inside of it at the time.
Yo.
And I just played that, and thankfully had like a full battery too.
This was before.
Like, this is God. He sent me this for me.
Pre-charging, right? It probably had like that.
Oh yeah, it always had the AA batteries or something like that. That's the big one, right? AA batteries.
Yeah. AAA is the small one.
Yeah. So I had I think it had like 4 at the time.
No way.
Yeah. I think I had 4, or maybe it was just 2. I think it was 4.
4 batteries?
Yeah, they needed a lot of batteries back in the day.
Why? It wasn't even that big.
I know. Remember back in the day, like they used to have those toy trains, and they used to need like the giant 9-volt batteries. Yeah, not even the Q one, the big round one, and it would need like 4 of them.
What?
Yeah.
What? I don't even know what type of battery that is.
I forget. Yeah, I forget.
Like the cylinder looking.
Yeah, exactly. The big ones.
Oh
and
my
need like
God.
4 of them. Batteries were like a crazy thing back in the day. What?
You know what? Sabri, do you remember Sabri's green Game Boy? Game Boy Advance or whatever it was called?
No, that was just the Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I took it with me to Ethiopia too.
Oh shit. Should have hit myself in the face with the mic.
And you want to know something crazy?
What?
So I remember like I took it because my dad was like, "Oh, give it to your cousins there."
Of course.
And we played with it so much
that
I think the battery was starting to die.
Yeah.
You'll never believe what my cousin made me do.
What?
He's like, "Oh, I know a trick. You have to put the 4 batteries or however many batteries in the freezer overnight."
Actually, yeah, putting batteries in the fridge helps. Yeah.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
And I thought he was like I'm like, "You're gonna blow up the house? What do you mean?" He's like, "No, I swear it's gonna work," and it worked.
Ethiopian ingenuity is another thing, man. I'll tell you right now.
How did you discover that?
No, it's something I know. It's like, putting batteries in the fridge actually helps. Like, doesn't help them like recharge, but like I think it gives them a little bit extra. Like you can squeeze a little bit more out of them.
That is so.
Putting it in the fridge.
I don't even know who discovered that.
Probably some scientists who actually made out of that.
Like, it was like, my battery's about to die. Let me just put it in the fridge.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they probably found that out early because, like,
that's crazy.
Especially in the winter. Actually, it does make sense because batteries usually die quicker in the winter, do they not?
I don't know.
Or maybe it's a process of like putting them in somewhere cold and then taking them out and putting them into like a warmer climate. Because like actually, like electrical cars, that's an issue with some electrical cars is that in the winter their batteries die quicker.
How does that make sense? Because I thought putting it in the fridge makes it last
that's
longer.
why I'm saying, like, wait, how does that work out? But maybe it's because it's still in a cold climate. Like, even when I was working out as a technician in the winter, my drill batteries, I was using batteries for those. Like, if in the summer they would last me probably the whole day. In the winter, it would last me like an hour. Not even sometimes. It depends on how like intensive the work is. They die so quickly. That's why I had to have like 4 or 5 batteries, because they would die so quickly in the winter. And if you left them in the vehicle overnight,
they wouldn't work.
They would die themselves overnight.
How does that make sense?
Yeah, now I'm trying to like be like, wait, why did that work for small batteries but not for those ones? I'm gonna have to research this after, okay?
Yeah, because now it's gonna like bother me.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that when you mentioned the Game Boy story, that's what I remembered.
Yeah, Game Boys were a thing back in the day, man. I loved my Game Boy. I felt so sad when I lost it, but when I got it back, like I was like, this is a sign that it was meant to be. This is for me. Who needs to search for the person?
I mean, sometimes what's that saying? If you love something, let it go.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what happened. It found its way back to me.
I mean, a version of it.
Yeah.
Somebody else's.
It was the same color. It was destined.
That's
it was
true.
destined to be.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh shoot. Sorry. Did you have something else that you were bringing up earlier? I forget. Did we finish off on the topic of what was that show? The Ultimatum.
Aside from the fact that we just think it's a weird concept and we would never do it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's our analysis of it.
If you want to understand what the show's about, or even like get a whole synopsis of the show, I suggest you watch a video made by Nathan Zed on YouTube. He's actually an Ethiopian YouTuber.
I was gonna ask, is he the one with the flower shirt that you have?
Yeah, exactly. Have you ever seen me wear the Good Enough shirt? He's the guy who made that shirt. But he has a really good like comprehensive view of what the whole show is and like all the ridiculousness about it. He points it all out and like gives you an idea of what all the relationships were like. I feel like it was really good. Just like good explanation of the show and like the ridiculousness of it.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch the whole thing. I just watched the first one just to
his video is like 15 minutes, so you save yourself a few hours. Exactly.
You already spoiled one of the couples for me anyway, so whatever.
No, there's some crazy stuff that happens to that show.
Oh, he goes through all of it?
Yeah, he goes through all of it, basically. Not like he doesn't break it down all of it, but like he kind of like brings up each conversation, each relationship that's like worth bringing up.
Yeah.
Like he mentions there's a couple black couples and they're like kind of boring, so he doesn't even like go over them. But yeah, he kind of just breaks down like the most ridiculous parts. Okay. Like there's a part, you probably already saw it, where like 2 of the guys like tried to propose because they realized what the concept of the show was. No, you never saw that? Okay.
No, I only watched one episode.
I thought that was on the first episode. Oh no, this was at the point where they had to choose who they were gonna be with for the next 3 weeks.
Oh no, I didn't.
Oh, okay, yeah. So at that point, like a couple of them tried to propose. One of them was successful. The other one was just super awkward.
That's so. Yeah. Before we jump into our next topic, we're just gonna take a quick little break.
And we're back. You never should have said it with me. No, don't worry about it. It's all good. Yeah, we're good. Okay.
Imagine if we're like,
and we're back. Yeah. So now let's get into like some more serious topics. One thing, unfortunately, we kind of have to repeat this. Like, probably it's going to happen every year at this point. But if you're not already aware, there was an attack of the people while they're doing I believe it was just a Tarawih prayer, or they were doing some prayer.
Weren't they praying Fajr?
Was it Fajr?
They were praying in the mosque.
Yeah, they were praying in the mosque, and unfortunately, they reported that there were a couple people throwing rocks at the police, and they took that as an offense, and we're like, so we're just gonna jump into the mosque here and kind of just attack anyone we see who's different or like who is a Muslim in there. And it's unfortunate because like before Ramadan even started, I kind of not expected, but I anticipated this happening because it happens every year at this point. Like it's something we've known to happen, but now it's kind of interesting because this is in a time where the Ukrainian war is also going on, and like you can't help but to find the similarities there, where you have like a country invading another country or another sovereign state, and it's kind of being twisted in a different way for depending on who's being attacked. So like because it's the Palestinian people being attacked, they call it a conflict between two sides.
Yeah, it's not.
And they say they should both come to an agreement. But then when it comes to Russia attacking Ukraine, which is also a bad thing, they say like we should support Ukraine at all means possible, and like what Russia is doing is horrible and is breaking like so many humanitarian laws. So it's just an interesting now that you kind of have something to point to where you're being where they're being a hypocrite and how they cover the story. And even yesterday, I think I was listening to like 680 News on like my way back from the gym or something.
Yeah.
And I knew how they were going to cover, but it was still just annoying how they were saying they brought up that thing where like some Palestinian people were throwing rocks at the Israeli forces, and they took that as a self-defense measure to come in and
to go and literally like destroy the mosque
exactly.
and kill people and injure them. And like, I don't know if you saw the videos of like the soldiers beating an old man or like a woman. He literally hit her with a stick for what?
Yeah. And at this, because I think what we understand now is that they don't think of the Palestinian people as human in a way. Like they've been brainwashed probably by their government, most likely by their government, to think of these people as like not as people, similar to how like black people were thought of in the time of slavery, right? Mm-hmm. Because back the only way that they kind of got away with it, or the way they kind of not like the white people back then, what do you call it, like the way that they were able to kind of justify it was by saying that they weren't human, they were like subhuman, and they were equal to cattle or equal to animal. So there's a very similar brainwashing that's going on and doctrine that's going on when it comes to dealing with the Palestinian people.
I remember us recording an entire episode actually dedicated to Palestine and the insanely like horrible things that are happening to the people of Palestine like last year. And I remember being like really upset, like it angered me, and I remember I was telling you like I don't want to talk about this anymore, I'm mad. And I feel that same sort of like anger. It's just until when, like literally until when, like every single year it's gonna keep happening. And I find now that the people of Palestine and those who support Palestine, they're not even looking to ask the Western governments. Like they're not looking to get support from America, Canada, whatever, Europe. Now they're just asking like, where's the support from the Muslim countries? Like the Muslim countries aren't even helping or supporting them. A lot of them even have some sort of like not partnership, but a somewhat good relationship with the government of Israel, which
it's an unfortunate situation where like you almost can't even consider them Muslim countries anymore because of the ties that they have with basically like not your enemy, but like someone who's attacking your people, or someone who's currently oppressing your people.
Yeah, it's there's like, I know we clarified this last year too, but it's not all people of Israel that are negatively impacting.
Who are for this, or like
not all people from Israel are for this. It's the Zionists specifically, and I'm assuming the government is under that too. Yeah,
it's similar to like how like in America, like not everybody, a lot of people were not for like certain wars that are going on, but the government themselves, like they don't really listen to the people, if that makes sense. They're not like there's only so much power that people have when it comes to making their voice heard. And also the government can be really good at persuading people to think a certain way through like propaganda, similar to like where we saw with Trump, right?
That's true.
Like it was really it was only 50% of the country. Well, actually 50% is still a pretty big margin. But the reason they were able to get 50% is through like propaganda, and also it kind of did it to themselves by like not really giving the people many options when it came to who they're going to vote for. But yeah, you wouldn't say like because of what America's doing, like everyone in America is now a horrible person. Like we know a lot of people, there are a lot of Muslims in America, right? But you wouldn't put the actions of America on those Muslims people as well. They're usually against it, right?
That's true. I actually read online that a lot of the men in Israel don't really, or I guess teenagers, I don't know how old they have to be, but a lot of them don't have a choice and they have to join the IDF. Yeah,
I think they have a conscription. What do you call it again?
What?
Like where you have to go into the army for I think 2 years.
What's that called?
Similar to what Korea does.
Yeah, but okay, fine if you don't have a choice to join the army, but you do have a choice to be a decent human being. Oh my god, I'm getting congested.
What? Oh, are you congested right now? Guys, if I end up getting sick after this, you know why. Okay?
I just have to say, side note, this is all you're doing.
What?
Because you peer pressured me to take off my mask, and guess who got sick? The week I took my mask off.
No.
Yeah, that's actually what happened.
That you can't put that on me, Sara. This is what women do.
What are you talking about?
This is what women do.
That's literally what happened.
They will literally not take responsibility for any of their actions.
This was your you guys saw it here first, and you
see
heard
how
it
she
here
twisted that?
No,
see how
you
she
peer
twisted
pressured
that?
me.
No.
You literally
you cannot twist it. I did not peer. Sara, I literally walked into the building and you already had your mask off.
It was on my chin.
No. I called you out for it. Okay, but I called you out, but I didn't say nothing.
This
in
is
regards
why.
to you taking it up. I just call it out. Okay.
All I'm
so don't try to twist it. See, men, we have to stick together.
Oh my god.
Women are. I'm playing.
All I'm saying is, this is why I wanted to keep my mask on.
Nah. Okay. Get off that. Okay. It's not.
I wore it yesterday.
Okay. We're talking about Palestine right now.
I know, but I just had to throw that out there.
See, now you forgot what I was even talking about.
The thing where they have to join the what's it called?
Conscription. Search conscription.
What's the word?
Conscription. Just yeah, exactly. Conscription. Oh shoot, my bad. My leg.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, see, I know what I'm talking about, guys. Come on now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But so basically they have to join the army for a couple years. But also speaking about peer pressure. Is that peer pressure can make you do horrible things too. Yeah. Things that you would never expect yourself to ever do in your life, right?
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
Actually, we spoke about this in our men's mental health episode.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that one documentary about, what's his name? Something Zimbardi?
Zimbardi?
Philip Zimbardo. He's an American psychologist. He did this experiment, the prison guards.
The jail experiment. Yeah.
Did you ever watch that documentary?
Yeah. Well, I didn't watch. I knew about the experiment like from years and years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know they had. Yeah, maybe I have watched the documentary then. Yeah, because I remember that I watched the video about it like many years ago.
Yeah, and that's a prime example of how peer pressure can make you do things that's not who you are. Yeah, like in your nature.
And just to give a quick breakdown of it, is basically they took I think like 16 men. Like 30 men or something like that. And they split half of them into prisoners and half of them into police officers or enforcers guards. And then they put them into like a makeshift jail.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to like run it like a jail for I think a certain period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they weren't really cops, they weren't really prisoners, eventually they kind of, the cops or the guards started treating them like they were prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
And like the prisoners were being like tortured and being attacked and like being abused by these officers.
Yeah.
Even though this was just a social experiment, they all knew it was a social experiment. They knew that this was not real and this is like all set up for them just to see what would happen. But they still almost acted with impunity, like nothing would. There was no consequences to their actions.
Well, I think they started to embody the roles that they were given.
Yeah.
I remember one of the examples was like they were given like the typical sunglasses, like the aviator style, and some of the guards wouldn't take them off to kind of separate themselves. Because when you look into someone's eyes, it kind of like humanizes them.
Yeah.
So they would keep them on to like separate themselves from the prisoners.
To like show that the lack of emotion. So because if they showed any emotion, they would think there'd be weakness.
Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah, but it's not to like what we're saying here is not to kind of excuse what these guards or these officers are doing in Israel or Palestine right now to the people.
Yeah.
But you can kind of understand like how someone can be so horrible and how like peer pressure and propaganda and all of these different factors can make you do things that you never thought you would be able to do.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like the Palestinian people are on the other side of that.
Yeah.
And are getting the brunt of that force. And I feel like it'll come down to the people of the so-called state of Israel to kind of stop it themselves. I don't think at this point, there's anything any outside force can do to stop this from happening. Just from seeing.
You think they're that untouchable?
No, it requires the people who actually live there to like rise up and speak against this and stop it themselves. Not and like the people, when I say like the people in the state of Israel, the people who are currently benefiting from all these people who are getting oppressed, they need to stand up to it. But it's hard to do that when you're benefiting from it, right? Like it's easy to kind of look away when you can go to the restaurant down the street and eat whatever you want and go to movies and do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If it requires like a few thousand people or a few million people to be oppressed and abused, you know, you'd be surprised what people are willing to look past.
I know. And the thing is even if a lot of them don't support it, a lot of them still do support it too. Like they are happy that this is happening.
They're kind of neutral in it. It's almost like racism in America.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like saying nothing is still an act of condoning what is happening to the people, right?
The silence is loud.
Yeah. We need a lot more allies in that country, and hopefully by kind of working against that propaganda and putting it out, like people making videos and like pointing out all these and make like putting out these videos of like showing the people getting oppressed and showing why it's wrong. We'll get to those people and they can kind of do something about it.
Yes, but I feel like even with social media, it's kind of sus out there because, you know, even if, you know, I know we've spoken about this in our earlier episodes where a lot of times people look towards celebrities or just people that have a bigger influence online to speak up against these types of issues. Someone like Bella Hadid is very outspoken about what's going on in Palestine. And even when she posts about it online, she gets shadow banned. Yeah. Or like Subhi Taha also gets shadow banned. Yeah. Anyone who wants to speak up about it on Instagram, their content either just mysteriously gets deleted or just doesn't upload, or, you know, not that many people, like, it doesn't get exposed to that many people. Whereas if they post about anything else, the whole world sees it.
Exactly.
Crazy.
And it's interesting how like it's this one small country.
Yeah.
Has so many vested interests in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the conspiracy theorists can like go crazy with this kind of stuff, and honestly, like I wouldn't stop them because it can only really come down to conspiracies. Like when people the stigma behind the word conspiracy, like can kind of blind you the fact to a real conspiracy that's actually going on. Yeah. Because once you hear that word, you're like, oh, it's just theories. Yeah, exactly. But the actual meaning behind the word is like people conspiring to. What is the definition of conspiracy?
Let's look that up real quick.
Oh. Or definition? Why did you say meaning? Okay, like a secret plan by a group to do something unlawful or harmful. Or the action of plotting or conspiring. Like just that action in itself, like why is that not something that seems realistic, right? Especially if they all feel like they can maybe benefit. Maybe it all comes down to money and resources. I always say that, but it's unfortunate. Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because recently we got an email on our Cousin Connection page telling us like, if you put up any videos mentioning anything about like Ukraine and like any conspiracies that say anything like maybe slightly even pro-Russian or saying like that people deserve it, which they don't. Yeah. Like, but we just got an email saying like anything like that, you automatically get banned, demonetized, and like get a.
Where's this energy for Palestine?
Exactly. Sorry, so
I just had to. I'm so annoyed.
You know, it's an unfortunate situation, and you can feel almost like, what can you do? But
just pray for the Muslims, not just in Palestine, all over the world. I think
we need to find a way to kind of like pinpoint those people in that country to get them to wake up to it, right? But like still, even racism at this point in America has not been solved. And how many hundreds of years has it been, right?
How many Black Lives Matter? Oh, that's a whole other topic.
No, yeah, but. No, just the movement behind Black Lives Matter. The movement, not the actual organization.
Yeah, like I'm saying, like how many more protests need to happen? How many more people need to be killed by the police for them to see that racism still exists and is very rampant in the U.S.? Yeah,
it shows you how hard of a issue it is to solve when it's been happening for 400 years in America and still not solved. And like it's it's almost like just starting, not just starting, but it's been going on for maybe 50 or 60. How many years? It was 1948, I believe, when they took over Palestine. So that's what, like almost 60, 70 years, right? And hopefully it doesn't take that 400 years to people even to slightly wake up to the fact that something is going on there, right?
Do you feel like pressure from the country's allies would kind of sway the government in any way whatsoever to ease up on the attacks?
You mean like, well, it would only really take pressure from one country, which is the USA, America.
Is USA Israel's biggest ally? I thought
yeah,
like maybe
definitely.
Saudi
They're the biggest
been.
Ally of anyone in the world because they're such a large military force.
But they're broke.
No, it's not. When you have a military, you're not broke.
I guess.
Yeah. If you
all
need
their money goes towards that. That's why they're broke.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the only real ally they need to kind of look to, right? And so if they said,
imagine America helping Muslims. Yeah, right.
No, but it's definitely an issue that will need the people there to actually speak up for it to be even somewhat addressed. Because right now they're not even addressing it. They're constantly saying that it's a conflict between two sides, almost equal sides. They try and make them sound equal, but it's not equal. Like even in that story I mentioned earlier, or the article that I was mentioning about the 680 News thing I was listening to, like at the end of it they mentioned, and they reported multiple attacks or Palestinian attackers in other parts of the country or something like that. To kind of almost justify why they're doing this to the people.
It's only a matter of time before they go before they get to Gaza, because that's exactly like they start at the mosque, then they kind of go and make the other attacks.
Well, they don't go into Gaza; they just bomb it, basically. Yeah. Or if they don't have any reason to go in. They just attack it from air. Yeah. Because it's an open air prison, right? So it's not like anyone can get out or into it. So why not just attack it from the sky? Why waste why use soldiers for that?
That's so messed up.
But yeah, I know that's why we said we're gonna start a little bit more upbeat topics and end with this one. It's definitely an unfortunate situation, but
make dua while we're still in Ramadan.
Yeah, exactly.
May Allah help the Muslims that are suffering around the world.
Yeah, inshallah. But thanks again. It's so sad now.
I know. Now I'm just like, all right, guys. See you next week.
Yeah, so we actually have to head out of here. We got an iftar to get to.
Yeah.
I know these podcasts are a little bit shorter during Ramadan, but it's just you got time constraints now, okay?
Yeah.
But hopefully that was somewhat entertaining for y'all and somewhat informative for y'all. I keep saying y'all.
I know.
But it's whatever. Okay, so that's who I am at this point. Thank you again for listening. Remember to follow us remember to subscribe on YouTube and like the video. I should start the videos like that, like the videos right here, because apparently it really helps.
Yeah, give us really a like helps. And leave us a comment. Let us know what you guys want to see from us in the future.
Yeah, let us know what topics you'd like us to cover. Remember, you can also follow us on all our other social platforms at Cousin Connection Pod, like Instagram, TikTok, I don't know, LinkedIn, not LinkedIn. But yeah, thanks again for listening, guys, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.